Have you ever seen a teacher get arrested? My 10th grade class was basically a graveyard for substitute teachers. We'd burned through 12 subs that semester alone. They'd show up Monday morning all hopeful and be calling in sick by Wednesday. Most barely learned our names before giving up. Then Mr. Langston walked into our classroom on a Tuesday in November. First thing he did was pull out a notebook and started asking everyone their names. Not just asking, he was writing them down, asking how to pronounce them right, asking what we preferred to be called. By the end of class, he knew all 32 of us by name. Friday morning, he walked in carrying 3 boxes of donuts from the good place downtown, not the gross grocery store ones. Said it was because we'd actually listened during his lesson on Thursday. Kids who never paid attention were suddenly raising their hands. Emma, who hadn't turned in homework all year, started staying after school for help. What made Mr. Langston different was how he talked to us, like we were actual people instead of annoying kids. When Tyler was falling asleep in class, instead of yelling, Mr. Langston quietly asked if everything was okay at home. Turns out Tyler was working nights at his uncle's restaurant to help pay rent, so Mr. Langston started bringing him coffee and let him nap during study hall. He had this way of making even the troublemakers feel important. Jake, who got suspended twice that year for fighting, became Mr. Langston's helper. He'd stay after school organizing papers and cleaning whiteboards. Even Ms. Martinez, our counselor, said she'd never seen such a quick turnaround in student behavior. 3 weeks in, something weird happened. Anthony needed to email Mr. Langston about a makeup test, so he asked the main office for his school email address. The secretary looked confused and said she'd get back to him. She never did. Then Kayla mentioned something that made my stomach drop. She was scrolling through YouTube videos her mom watches, true crime stuff, and swore she recognized Mr. Langston's face from one of them. We all told her she was being paranoid, but she kept digging. Turns out she was right. Mr. Langston was actually David Crawford, a former therapist who lost his license 3 years ago. Not for anything involving kids, but for falsifying documents, lying under oath, and improperly prescribing medications to adult patients. He wasn't legally allowed to work in education anymore. Somehow he'd forged teaching credentials, created a fake ID, and slipped into our district's substitute pool. No background check caught it because he was using a completely different name. When the school found out, they went into full panic mode. But word spreads fast in high school. By lunch, everyone knew. Instead of being scared or angry, we were just confused. Because Mr. Langston had never done anything wrong with us. No weird comments, no inappropriate behavior, nothing creepy at all. He'd literally helped kids with depression and anxiety feel better about themselves. The police showed up during 6th period. We watched from our classroom windows as they walked Mr. Langston to their car in handcuffs. He didn't fight it or make excuses. Before getting in the police car, he looked up at our classroom window and nodded at us. Here's the crazy part. At his court hearing 2 months later, 16 kids from our class showed up to speak for him. We told the judge how he'd helped us, how he'd made us feel like we mattered. Tyler said Mr. Langston was the first teacher who'd ever cared enough to ask why he was tired. The judge still sentenced him to 18 months, but a local law firm heard about the case and offered him a job doing clerical work when he got out. And because of a recommendation letter Mr. Langston wrote before his arrest, Emma got a full scholarship to community college. We never saw him teach again, but somehow a fake teacher ended up being more real than any of the actual ones we'd had.